Well, hello, everyone. I'm Jill Bloom, publisher of Roofing Contractor, Walls and Ceilings, and Building Enclosure. And welcome to a special Q&A legal insight with Trent Cotney, the CEO of Cotney Attorneys and Consultants. And it's always great to spend time with Trent because we all know, no matter what day of the week it is, what day of the month it is, there's always something to talk about when you're talking legal and you're talking contractors. So Trent, thank you so much for joining me.
Jill, it's so great to see you. Man, we got a lot to talk about. I'm looking forward to our conversations today.
Oh, me too. I got lots of questions. And well, first, it was great to see you at IRE last week. But since then, I saw that Biden had made some comments about his Made in America plan. It sounds kind of cool. Can you tell us about that? And what do we need to know?
Absolutely. So back in January, Biden came out with an executive order where he was going to really push the Made in America program. And slowly over the last few months, he's been rolling out different things. And on July 28th, he came out with some additional information, which talked about closing some of the loopholes with the Made in America program. The idea behind it is they want consumers to be able to buy products made in America. They want to incentivize manufacturers and distribution to have products that are made in America. So that's what this program is about. So in addition to having greater transparency, closing loopholes, one of the things that they're going to focus on is really looking at the supply chain and figuring out if there is a way to source some of the raw materials and other products from American sources rather than overseas. Now, what's interesting about this, Jill, is we know a lot of the products that contractors are having problems getting right now, like ISO, for example. A lot of the raw materials are sourced overseas. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays with our own supply chain shortage and whether or not this helps, create greater dependence here in the United States rather than looking, overseas for these products.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like you're saying, we know a lot of the products are made here in the United States, but yeah, those raw materials make it difficult when they're coming from other places.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Trent, one of the things that you and I were just talking about before we got on, and something that we cover at Best of Success on occasion, especially since we love Kevin Yarborough so much. And again, congratulations on bringing him on board. He has been by far one of our best speakers in the past at Best of Success, and one of our highest rated, especially when you're talking OSHA, because typically when you say, yeah, come listen to an OSHA speaker, people sprint for the door. They don't want to talk to an OSHA guy. But you were talking about some of the OSHA inspections that have been happening, and it sounds like there's a huge spike, but can you give us some more insight on what do contractors need to know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's gotten to the point where I don't 100% trust the news, and I don't trust, statistics and things I hear necessarily on the internet, but I do trust the phone. I do trust the emails that I get, and that's how I can kind of gauge what's going on in the industry. And one of the things that we've seen an uptick in almost every single one of our offices has been the number of OSHA inspections. And one of the things that that I really noticed when I went to IRE is a lot of the questions I was getting. I would have expected to have heard a lot about materials, and there was some comments about that, but really a lot of the questions were safety related. In fact, I just had a few follow-up emails from our trip last week. So when I got back, it dawned on me, we need to get the word out and help educate what's going on. So we've got something great coming up on August 18th at 3 p.m. We're doing a live webinar with Craig Breidup. He's our national lobbyist, and he also lobbies for NRCA, ARMA, TRI, and other associations. Kevin Yarborough, who you mentioned, former assistant area director of OSHA, great speaker. John Kenny and myself, and we're going to talk about anything and everything that you ever wanted to know about OSHA, how to have a culture of safety, how to protect yourself, and what the future looks like. So really excited about it. It's free. And the idea, again, is just to get the word out. My goal is I want people to make sure that they take the steps now before the inspection happens to help shore up their culture, shore up their defenses so that they don't end up in trouble.
Yeah. So to kind of get everybody ready for that, or if they're listening to this and they want to go back and watch that, if it's past this time, I know that they can watch it on demand on your website. But what would you say are the top 3 things that a contractor needs to know when OSHA shows up on their job site?
Sure. So the first thing, Jill, is when OSHA shows up, normally they have to present their credentials, right? They say, here with OSHA, here's my badge. Okay. Or if it's a state equivalent, it's whatever the state is, right? So the one thing that I like to do there is I'm always civil and I always have the utmost respect for any agent that's doing their work, right? But what I want to do is I want to ask them, what led you to come out here? Why are you here? And the reason why you want to do that is because what that does is it puts that investigation in a box. And for example, if OSHA comes out and they say, hey, I was just driving by and I saw you had 4 people on a steep slope roof with no fall protection. Great. Okay, that is the sum total of their investigation. It's not, can I look inside your trucks? Can I, look here, look there? If it's open and obvious, clearly they can look at it, but it doesn't give them the ability to go check, the electrical plugs inside a building, right? So what it does is that forces them in that box, and you need to keep them in that box, right? The second thing that I would tell people, Jill, is OSHA likes to use written witness statements. What they will do is they will take all the information that they want down on a piece of written paper and then ask your crew to sign it or ask your superintendent to sign it. What a lot of people don't realize is you do not have to sign that document. You don't have to sign a written witness statement, okay? Keep in mind that another trick that OSHA likes to use is they like to read what they wrote on the witness statement and said, is that true? And say, I know you don't want to sign it, but is that true? Yeah, that's true. Well, that's just the same as before. So what I recommend is, look, if I was asked to sign a witness statement, I'd be like, look, I don't know if this necessarily reflects the whole truth. I'm happy to, if you want me to go in front of a court reporter or something, I'm happy to do that, but I'm not going to sign anything. I'm not going to test anything. It is what it is. And the reason why you want to think about things in that way is that rarely is there great information in those witness statements for you, right? It tends to be one-sided, and you really want to try to put your best forward in an investigation. That doesn't allow you to do that. So the third thing that I'd recommend, third sort of a tip that I would recommend, is get documentation of what the job site looks like at the time OSHA comes out. So you want to take photographs, you want to take video. If they're doing a walk-around inspection, walk right with them. If they're asking questions, know what questions they've asked, note what photos they've taken, because the way that project looks on that day is going to be the basis of any defense you got. And a lot of times, getting a picture of a completed project isn't necessarily going to help you. So what you want to do is document existing conditions, because there may be some nuances or some things that are there that will give you some insight and allow you to defend those claims.
Awesome. Great insight. So let's switch to NRCA for a second. I just saw that they issued an action alert supporting funding for more career and technical programs in high schools. And the timing seems really critical here, since I believe the Senate is about to finalize some funding. But what do contractors need to know about this?
Right, absolutely. So NRCA and its lobbying team has done a fantastic job. All the people from the DC office, Dwayne, Terry, Deborah, all those people do a great job in getting the word out. And one of the things that I would really recommend any roofing contractor is get to know your local representative and get to know your senator, right? And even if you don't get a chance to meet with them, meet with the legislative aides, get the word out, contribute to the roof pack. We're at IRE, they just had a roof pack auction. I didn't attend, but I did submit a proxy bid on my friend Rick D'Amato's copper flag, who I always try to win and lose every single year, but there's always next year. So by contributing, to politicians that support our positions, and by getting in front of those politicians, you're going to stand a much better chance of being able to educate them. So when the time comes to vote, they're going to vote our way.
I love it. So what else is on your mind this week?
It's been a very interesting week. I have been watching, like a lot of people, what's going on over in Afghanistan. Being here in Tampa, we've got a lot of employees that are either former military, or we've got a lot of friends that work at MacDill Air Force Base, which is where SOCOM is based out of. And what's interesting is a lot of the roofing community is former vets, right? And I've gotten really close with a lot of roofing contractors that have served, whether they're in the manufacturing space or supply, distribution, or contractors. And it's a difficult thing to watch some of the stuff. It's hard for people. And what I would recommend to listeners out there is, make sure that you're touching base with the vets, let them know that you appreciate what they did. Let them know that they are important. And that's something that, I've been hearing over and over again. Their purpose over there was worthwhile. They are much appreciated. And I just want to remind everybody that it's a trying time, especially for those that served over there.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I think everybody probably knows somebody that's been over in Afghanistan. So Great point. Well, Trent, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. If anybody has any questions for Trent, feel free to reach out to him at cotneycl.com. If you have any questions for us, you can reach us at roofingcontractor.com, wconline.com, or buildingenclosureonline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our free e-newsletters. To register for our website is also free, and check out our new e-magazine platform, which again is all free to register for, so you can make sure you stay up to date with all the incredible content we put out. And please stay safe and healthy, and we look forward to seeing you next time.